All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Monday Motivation, my favorite time of the week. It's Monday. Time to get that week off to a grand start. All right, we've been having some great conversation, and thanks for the feedback, guys, on the impact that these Monday Motivations are having on your journey and helping you to move forward. I appreciate the feedback because it tells me that I'm on track and I'm sharing ideas that are actually making a difference for you. And today's no different. These ideas come from conversations I'm having with clients. And obviously, I've covered this before. But one of the themes that continue to emerge is this idea of it's not the right time. Hey, I'm so busy. I've got so many things going on. And what was I thinking? It's not the right time. My life is so crazy right now. And I just don't think it's the right time for me to do this. And here's always my response to my clients. It is always the right time. Today is always the best day to get going on your transformation. Why? Because tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is just out of reach, folks. So today I'm going to share some ideas with you why today is the best time to start. You start today, you transform tomorrow. That's what I want you to think about. Start today and transform tomorrow. And this is the moment you have. This is all you have. This moment is all you have. Why? Because the future is uncertain. The past is gone. The future is uncertain. And right now, in this very moment, you have the power to choose change. There's no better time than today because tomorrow will always be just out of your reach. If you don't start now, tomorrow will always be just out of your reach. Why? Because there's always something. There's always something else. There's always another project. There's always some other obstacle. There's always something else that will crop up. Something will always come up. I guarantee it. That is life. Something will always come up. So this moment is all you have. Today is the best time to get going on your transformation. And that's because, guys, small steps, right? Small steps lead to big changes, and changes lead to transformation. And you start small. You don't need to overhaul your entire life in one day. That is what I need you to understand. And for my new clients who sometimes come to me and say, Coach, I don't know what was I thinking. I don't think this is the right time. Can I cancel? And well, the answer is always no, you can't cancel. You made a commitment to be here, and I will hold you to that commitment to be here. I will hold you to your commitment because you asked me to provide accountability for you. This is the accountability. What you don't have, what you didn't have in the past, is you didn't have the accountability. So you get started and life gets in the way, the obstacles crop up, and you tell yourself it's not the right time, so you give up. Say, I'll start some other time. But you see, you're always stopping and starting. And what we talk about on our onboarding call is how to make this the last time. If this is going to be your last time, then no, you can't stop again to start. This is it. You're here. And this is it. So the thing to do is to figure out what small step can I take? What one thing can I do today? Because every small step you take compounds over time, right? Even if it's just one very small choice, like taking a few minutes for yourself to reflect or to take a deep breath, you're making progress. That's what progress is about. Even if it's just, I'm going to choose to have some fruit instead of the French fries. I'm going to choose to have some salad, a salad instead of the fries. That is one small step that is taking you forward. It doesn't have to be big and grand. It could be very simple things. And this is what I need you to understand, that These are the things that take you forward. One decision in the moment. The only decision you get to make in the moment. I always share this with my clients. It doesn't matter where in the world you are, who you're with. The only decision you get to make in the moment is, am I going to eat on plan, or am I going to plan to deviate? That is the only decision you get to make when it comes to your nutrition. Am I going to be on plan? And you get to make that decision. So it doesn't matter where you are, who you're with, you're on vacation, you're on a cruise, you get to choose, am I going to eat on plan right now? That is a choice you get to make. Nobody's putting food in your mouth but you. So you get to make that choice. And if you say yes, then you figure out, okay, well, what can I do to stay on plan? You see, that's the next question you ask. What can I do to stay on plan? What is the best choice I can make? Or is this the best choice I can make based on what I'm trying to do? You see, you're being aware, you're being conscious, you're making decisions. And it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, you can always be making that decision every moment of the day. Doesn't matter how busy you are, you can always be making that decision about what you put in your mouth, because that is your decision. And it's no more difficult to put some fruit in your mouth as it is to put some French fries. It is no more difficult to get yourself a salad than it is to get yourself those burgers and fries. It is no more difficult to have some fruit and nuts than it is to have a Snicker bars. No more difficult. It's just a matter of choice. You choose what you have, what you do, because when you make that choice, you see, the universe supports you by guiding you to the next step. How do I find what I need, right? That is the next step. How do I find what I need? Because now you're looking for it. If you weren't looking for it, well, there's no reason for you to know how to find it. But once you start looking for it, you go to another city, you start looking for it. How do I find what I need? I guarantee you will find it. Why? Because I always do. I have never gone anywhere around this country or traveling around the world and never been able to find what I need, ever. Because you make the best choice you can based on what you've got. And here's the thing, guys, you really need to understand that transformation happens in the chaos. Transformation can happen in the chaos. Life is never perfect. So waiting for the right, quote unquote, moment often means waiting forever. Waiting till you're in the right mindset usually means you're waiting forever. The truth is, transformation can start right in the middle of the mess, in the middle of the chaos where you are. The chaos you're feeling is the perfect soil for growth, because it shows you what you need to overcome. You need to understand that. That busyness you're having right now, that chaos you're going through, being pulled in all these different directions, what else is new? It isn't the first time you're experiencing this. It isn't the first time you're going through this. And you've given up on yourself before. So what's going to make this time different is to use the chaos. As I've said before, use the difficulty. Use the difficulty and have it work for you. Don't let your obstacles become your excuses. Let your obstacles become your lessons. These are the very things you need to overcome. Every single time a client comes to me and tells me that I can't go on because, I've got too much going on. I've got all these things pulling me in this direction. I've got this health issue going on. Guess what? Those are always the very same obstacles they need to overcome in order to get the results they're looking for. Every single time. Every single time a client tells me that, I'm being pulled in all these directions, I'm not in the right frame of mind, well, those are exactly the things they need to overcome to get their lives in order to achieve the transformation they seek. Every single time, I guarantee it. So if you're having those thoughts right now, and some of you are, you're having those thoughts, you're thinking, why did I get started now? You're having those thoughts. Believe me, I've had clients who start over the holidays. I had clients who start right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas. And you know something? They usually do the best. They usually do the best because you have so many obstacles, so many challenges to overcome. By January, guess what? When things clear up, things are easy. So when you start in the middle of the chaos, guess what? When life gets better and it's no longer chaotic, piece of cake. Things get much easier. So this is what you need to understand, guys. We're looking for progress. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress, not perfection. So that is what you need to focus on, right? You need to focus on the person you want to become is waiting on you to make the first move. You got to make that first move. And every moment you delay is a moment further from your potential. Every moment you delay is a moment further from your potential. So start today and think of it as a gift you give to your future self. This is the gift you give it to your future self, a version of you that will thank you forever. This is where you start. You start today. Remember, your future self is counting on you. The person you want to become is waiting on you to make that first move. So every moment you delay is a moment further from your potential. I want you to really get that. Every moment you delay, every day you delay, every time you put this off, you are that much further away from your true potential, from that future self, that future vision that you're creating for yourself. But you have the power to choose your path. Today, you have the power to choose your path. No matter how many demands are placed on you, you always have the ability to choose your path. Life transformation doesn't need to be grand, folks, and that's what a lot of you are thinking. If I can't do everything, then I can't do anything. Well, that's the all or nothing mindset that will leave you exactly where you are. If I can't do everything, then I can't do anything. Well, that's not going to get you where you want to go. Life transformation doesn't need to be grand. It can be in the way you react, the way you prioritize, the mindset shifts you choose to make right now. Make that shift right now, that your obstacles are opportunities for learning and growth, that everything that stands in your way right now are the very lessons you need to learn to achieve that transformation you seek. And until you learn to deal with what's present right now, that future self will be elusive. You won't be getting there anytime soon until you learn how to deal with what's in front of you right now. So don't run away from it. Don't quit and give up on yourself. Learn to deal with it. You don't have to walk this path alone. I told you, from this moment on, you no longer have to walk alone. You have a coach, you have a guide, you have a support group. You have thousands of others on this journey with you. You're not alone. Do you think you're the first person who's ever said, hey, coach, I can't do this right now. I've got too much going on. My life is crazy. I'm being pulled in all different directions. You think you're the first person who's said that? I've been doing this for 30 years, right? Most of our coaches have been doing this for decades. Collectively, we've worked with over 100,000 clients over these 30 years. We hear this all the time, hundreds and hundreds of times, even from the very same clients who go on to lose 50, 60 pounds. The very same clients. I told you the story of my client who lost 80 pounds. 2 days after I onboarded her, she was ready to give up on herself, but she didn't. Actually, 90 pounds later, guess what? What if I had said, okay, well, yes, you can give up on yourself. This is not the right time for you. What if I said that? Every single time a client asks, hey, can I start? And some other time, this ain't the right time. I can't do this right now. If I were to give in and say, yes, this is not the right time for you, guess what? The majority of the people who have lost over 50 pounds over the past year would never have achieved that goal, would never have achieved that kind of life transformation. So the deal is, guys, it's not about finding time. It's about creating time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about magically finding time to change your life. It's about making the decision to create space for your own growth. That is all. Making the decision to create space for your own growth. Even 5 minutes a day is a victory when you're creating the life you want. Remember, 5 minutes a day is a victory. That is all you need to start. You don't need to upend your whole life. You don't need to change everything in your life. Even 5 minutes a day is a victory. Because you don't need to do everything. You don't need to start with everything. You need to start with one thing at a time. You need to make one decision at a time. That is all. Just one decision. Because in every moment you get to make one decision, and that is all. So here's the thing, guys. You deserve to invest in yourself, right? You might feel like you're being pulled in many directions, but the most important investment you can make is in yourself. No matter what else you've got going on, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. So starting today is an act of self-respect. Starting today is an act of self-respect, a recognition that you are worth the time and effort it takes to create the transformation you seek. You are worth the time and effort it takes to create the transformation you seek. You see, growth happens in the uncomfortable. That is where growth happens. When you're comfortable and things are going great, well, there's very little growth taking place. Growth happens in the uncomfortable. So being not in the right mindset is actually a great place to start. So I want you to understand that. When you think that you're not in the right mindset, that is a great place to start, because true growth happens when we push through the discomfort, when we step out our comfort zone and take action despite the noise around us. Today is the perfect opportunity to practice that growth. So when you don't think it's the right time, that is the perfect time, because now you can create that mindset transformation. That today is always the best time. Because growth happens in the uncomfortable. When I'm able to step out of my comfort zone and declare that I am moving forward no matter what. I am moving forward no matter what. See, the deal is, guys, today's action creates tomorrow's results. Remember, today's actions create tomorrow's results. So the actions you take today will have a ripple effect on tomorrow, the next week, and the next month. The actions you take today will have a ripple effect on tomorrow, the next week, and the next month. And even if you feel unsure, starting today means you're building momentum toward the life you want. It's the smallest action today that will set the stage for your transformation. I want you to get that. The smallest thing you do today is what will set the stage for your transformation. So don't think that just because you can't do everything, don't think that just because life is crazy that you can't take small actions. Of course you can. Starting a life transformation journey today, no matter where you are, is a powerful, powerful thing to do, because it signals that you believe in your own potential even when circumstances aren't ideal. You believe in your own potential. Every small step counts, and today could be the turning point that changes everything. Today. That one small change you make today could be the turning point that changes everything. When you address the fact that your life is crazy and you take one action to address that, no matter how small, it could be just a shift in your mindset. That could be what it takes. That could be the turning point. So start today. What you do today is the transformation you have tomorrow. So start today and transform tomorrow. Even when things aren't perfect, this moment is all you have. Small steps lead to big changes. Transformation happens in the chaos. You're always stronger than you think. I want you to think that. You're going through the things that you're going through, all the challenges you're going through, because you can deal with them. You're stronger than you think. Progress is what we're after, not perfection. You don't have to be able to do everything. Your future self is counting on you, my friends. Your future self is counting on you. Right? You have the power to choose your path. No matter what's going on in your life, you have the power to choose your path. It's not about finding the time. It's about creating the time. That's the power that you have. Remember, one small decision today can change everything. It will have a ripple effect, and tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Don't you deserve to invest in yourself? Yes, you do. And remember that growth happens in the uncomfortable. That is where you're growing. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. If things are just going along smoothly, you're not growing. Growth happens in the uncomfortable. So today's actions will create tomorrow's result. So what one small thing can you do today? If your life is crazy, what one small thing can you do today to move forward? What can you do about your meals? What can you do about your water? What can you do about your activity, being more active? What can you do about your exercise? What can you do about your sleep? What can you do about dealing with the stresses in your life? What one small thing can you do today that will have that ripple effect on your life, that will start your transformation tomorrow? That is a question to ask yourself. So remember, today is always the best day to get going. I hope this has been helpful.